good. Okay. It's going to be solid. We are back, y'all. We are back. Good morning again. Good morning again, y'all. Lisa, good morning. Pam Gamble, Daisy, Keisha, Mary, Tammy, Joy, Sheila, Tracy, Janice, Franklin, Reva, good morning. Christopher, Sherelle, Mike Banks, Michelle, Amber, Karen, God bless you all. Good morning. Narita, God bless you. Chanel, God bless you. Dorothy, God bless you. All right, let's jump in. Page 25, That's where we are. We're going through this book, 60 Prayers in 60 Seconds, Strictly Business. All right, so we are on page 25. Chapter 10 says the word debt. That's what it starts with. Let's jump in. Okay, so it says this in Romans 13:8 out of the Message Bible. Don't run up debts except for the huge debt of love you owe each other. Don't run up debts. Now, I don't know how God does it, okay? Because he's God. But isn't it ironic that we are on the chapter of debt and we just came into the holiday season? What do y'all think? You think that's accidental? Who knows? But I think it's a very poignant point that in this season, we're mindful, okay? So you may not know this, but let me break it down. And you may know it. The reason why they call the Friday that just passed Black Friday was that most sales stores were in the red debt on that weekend. From this point on till the end of the year is where they go from the red to the black. So the reason why they call it Black Friday, it's the time when businesses get out of debt and put you into debt. I'm gonna say it again. Black Friday, black in economics or business means I'm in the black. That means I'm in profit. When a business owner says I'm in the red, it means I'm at a deficit or I'm in debt. So they created a marketing strategy to help them get out of debt before the end of the year, i.e. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber Week, Christmas, holidays. So you, as a consumer and also a producer and an owner, have to be cognizant that you don't go in the red debt, helping a company get in the black. Now, if you have surplus and you are not in a tight space, there are good values in this season. I agree. But don't let a value put you in debt or spend what you don't have now. Oftentimes in this season, people will go into debt buying gifts for people who don't necessarily need them. You are more helpful to someone when you are not in debt. Now, Pastor, there's different kind of debts. I agree. Some debts are a business debt that actually pays you something. Some debts don't pay you something, meaning you may have a business that generates revenue. Okay, I understand. You may have a mortgage. It's where you live. That's rational. Now, the key point, you have to make sure that you stay within your financial means. I'm going to transition because I feel like I'm going too deep on this. Sometimes I can go there. Okay. Back to the book. Romans 13:8 says, don't run up debts except for the huge debt of love you owe each other. Our country is a terrible model for debt management because our national debt has been exploding now all the time. This is not a new thing. Actually, during Clinton, the debt got to zero. That is true, but we're not going to talk about that. As a result, many individuals and businesses find it easy to follow the nation's trend of getting into debt themselves. Debt is dangerous because it takes us out of control. Whoever holds our debt has power over us. Now, let me talk about me, not you. There's a time when I had too much debt. I did. And the debt was called, meaning I had to find the money, and I wasn't in a position to find the money. So after that experience, I tried to make sure that I don't overextend myself too much that I can't get out. I have to have a couple ways by which I can get out of the jam. Because if you're not careful, you can over leverage yourself where you have too much and you can't recover. So make sure you keep a heavy reserve to protect yourself from unseen circumstances. Life has a way of challenging you, whether it's business or life. So you want to protect yourself by having an emergency fund. That's the gist of it. Having an emergency fund and being wise with debt. Try not to rack up too much debt. Now, I am an anomaly. I'm a rarity. I've never had a credit card, personal. Charmaine has had credit cards, and I've been an authorized user. But personally, I never had a credit card. I know that's amazing. I thought about it. That is kind of rare. But when I met her, she already had credit cards. And I just, being an economics major, it just didn't make sense to me at the time. And I just never did it. So, of course, me being married at 22, 23, and she already had 3 or 4 credit cards. I said, why would I get one? You have one. I don't need one. And I've lived that way. So it has helped me not to get in spots, because if I don't have it, I don't have it. I didn't lose anything, but it protected me from some poor choices. I still make poor choices, by the way, when I over leverage myself with real estate. But it's just a thought process to never put yourself in a spot where a person can have advantage over you. Okay. All right. Debt often forces people to make poor decisions when trying to figure out how to repay it. Have you ever done this before? Where you put yourself in a spot where now you have to make some poor choices. You have to sell some stuff. You have to pawn some stuff. I've had that. When we got overextended because of my poor choices with real estate, because I was going to buy the world and, no money down. Now, it's possible. Let me not say it's impossible, but you have to really know what you're doing. That's what I should say. You should really know what you're doing. And so we put ourselves in a bad spot, and we were robbing Peter to pay Paul, from credit card to credit card. Now, they weren't my credit cards, but it's our credit cards. And I said to myself, I never want to put myself in that position where I feel forced to make bad decisions. Because let me tell you, when you need it, the bank won't give it. When you don't need it, the bank will give it. I'm going to say it again. When you don't need it, the bank will give it. When you need it, they won't give it. Example. Early in my football career, I went to the bank. The bank said, Jomo, whatever you want. Okay. At the time, I didn't need it. Well, football was over. I went to the bank. They said they ain't got it. What happened? My financial situation had changed. So what I tell people to do is ask for money from the bank when you don't need it. Because when you need it, they won't give it. I'm going to say it again. If you are a business person and you're thinking about things, a line of credit, a business loan, whatever that is, ask for it when you're in a position of strength and not weakness. See, because they're more inclined to give it to you when you don't need it. But when you need it, they won't give it. And that was a lesson I had to learn. So you don't want to put yourself in a position whereas I'm at the end of my rope and now I try to figure it out. No. You have to figure it out way before you get there because they're less likely to help you. It's a terrible system, but it's true. All right. Debt often forces people to make poor decisions when trying to figure out how to repay it. Y'all know this is true. So many people got themselves in trouble because they owed somebody money. So then they went from one bad decision to another bad decision. I know there were seasons in my life where I was in terrible debt and I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. The stress and anxiety that came with that season was unbearable. Now I know the other side, being debt free and the peace and freedom that comes with it. The best policy is if you can't afford it, don't get it. Real talk. Now, I'm not judging you. I've been through foreclosure, repossession, water cut off. I've been there. So I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about some of the choices I made that you may not want to make to make your life easier. Because see, a bankruptcy stays on your record for 7 years. You're tarnished. Facts. You can't buy anything in those 7 years. Facts. So you have to process all these things so you don't put yourself in a bad spot. Now, I wish I didn't learn the hard way. I wish I would have learned before that. But hey, it's life. I went through that storm. I'm on the other side now for a long time. But I say this because I want you to understand when you're trying to build your business, you have to be wise in how much debt you take on. And if you're going to start something, don't start with debt. What do you say? Make money before you take a loan. Make money before you take a loan. Okay, what are you saying here? Some people are saying, listen, I need to buy this, I need to buy that, I need to buy that. No. Prove your model before you take a loan. Before you take a loan for a business, prove your model. Does it work? Because what happens, a lot of people go into debt. Business cards, flyers, getting office space, advertising, and you ain't sold nothing yet. What are you doing? No, don't put out $1. See if what you have works. My business partner and I, we did this a while back. It was nominal money. We said, listen, let's see if it works. We'll buy a plane ticket to DC for a speaking engagement there. If it works there, we keep moving. We'll make some investments. So we tried it, meaning test your model before you mass produce it. Don't you know the space shuttle had many test models before it got to the space? Do you know cars have test models before they go out? Do you know watches have test models? Do you know everybody has a test before they do mass production? So the question I ask you, have you tested and tried your business model to see if it's effective before you invest? Too many times people invest in things and have not proven, does the market want this? Is what I have something the market wants? By the way, you will find out real quickly whether what you have is what the market needs. And then based on that knowledge, then you make some investments. But don't invest a lot of money without proving your thesis, without proving your argument, without proving that what you do is valuable to the world. The challenge we have is most business people think that their stuff is perfect. Everybody needs this. Now, you should believe that. You should think that your stuff is great. You should think that everyone wants it. But you have to take it to the market and see, does the market love it? Do people call me? Do they want my services? If not, you may have the wrong business proposition. Understand this. People, they like you, but they may not like what you're selling. So if it doesn't work out that way, don't take it personal. Go back to the lab with a pen and pad and rework it to find your model. I say this because it's just what it is. I bought 3 trucks, okay? 3 LED trucks. I bought 3, okay? I bought too many. I did. But by God's grace, someone bought one last year, sold it. I made a profit. Praise the Lord. Now we have 2 trucks. Saturday, the trucks were at the USF game. Great day. USF has rented both trucks for all the football games. Perfect. Now a big company wants to do 2 trucks, 2 cities. Perfect. We are a year and change into this new business with my son and my brother. And now we're starting to figure it out. Now, Pastor, what are you saying? I was going to buy new billboards. If you don't know, we have billboards that advertise at church. And instead of buying another billboard or renting one or leasing one, I said, you know what? The same money I'm spending on a billboard, I could go ahead and buy a billboard truck and advertise whenever we want to advertise under our control. So instead of paying somebody, be it. This is a great way to start a business. There is something that you're paying someone to do that you could do. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying what I did, okay? So now we're on the cusp of the breakthrough moment. My son understands the business. My brother understands business, and my hands are not on it. Ooh, this is a good time right now because, see, there's a time in your business where you have to work in the business. But when you get successful, you work on the business. Oh, there's a difference between working in the business and working on the business. Oh, 18 minutes. Okay, I gotta go. But you started tapping into my business mind. But I say this thing because a lot of people, and I think all of us have done this, where you bought all of the Amway, you bought all of the Melaleuca, you bought all of the products, but you have not proven you can sell yet. So you have a storehouse of things, but you have not mastered sales yet. So now you're stuck with a whole bunch of product you can't sell. Before you buy all that, sell 1. Before you buy more, sell 5. Before you sell more, buy 10. Prove your model before you invest so that you can identify this works. Okay, let's do more. But too many times I see people spend money without proving their model. We spend money because it makes us feel like we did something. But just because you bought a gym membership don't mean you in shape. Just because, I said that because I know the New Year's coming. Just because you bought the membership at the gym does not mean you're going to go. Just because you bought the exercise bike don't mean you're going to ride it. Just because you have to prove your model before you make a large investment. That's all I'm saying. I love y'all. God bless you. Yes, TK, you got to beta test. Test it before you invest it. Oh, that's good. That's the word. Test before you invest. Test before you invest. That's good. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Test before you invest. All right. Love you to life. God bless you. Have a great day. I hope I helped somebody. Love you. Bye-bye.